Good morning, this is Mr. Evans. I am going to make a video about the first assignment. Now this particular video is only for those of you who are using Solidworks. I will make a separate video for those of you who are using Onshape, and it'll be interesting because I'm just now learning Onshape myself. I know that many of you guys are going to say, well, you know, that's really easy. That's much easier than what we've been doing. This assignment is from that book I had you guys gain access to that has to do with CSWA prep. And it does have some things that are easy at first. There will be more difficult and things that I think that you will learn. For example, there's some 3D sketch stuff that I've looked at that will be good to know. And so I'm not going to overload you. I know you have a lot of classes that you're working on, so I think it's okay that these drawings are going to be really pretty easy for you. I may give you 2 drawings today for one assignment because they're both so easy, and we'll just average those 2 together and give you guys a grade for that. And that'll be both for SolidWorks and Onshape because you guys are going to be drawing the exact same thing out of this same book. Those of you who are using Onshape, of course, will not be able to follow these exact directions. But I will do a video, and you can watch the video. And guys, you know, new software that we don't have a good book for, there are a bunch of learning activities for Onshape that you guys can go through and do yourself. I did have you guys look at the video where it points out a lot of the basic differences between Onshape and SolidWorks and Creo, of course. Creo's in there as well. But anyhow, enough talking. Let me just get to going on this. We're going to start with this tutorial, Volume Center of Mass 3.1. And this particular one, for the answers, we'll be looking for the mass properties, but also the center of mass. And I will point out, this is important for the certification test. I know many of you guys have already passed it, but for those of you who haven't, when you're answering center of mass questions, it'll usually be for assemblies. And it is absolutely essential that you look at what they give you and make sure that your origin is exactly where they tell you to put it. And even this, with the origin to the front here, that means that it has to extrude back from the origin, not forward from the origin or not from the midpoint. And so even when you get ready to extrude, you have to extrude the proper direction, or your mass property values, your center of mass especially, will be totally wrong and totally different. So let's get going. I'll go ahead and start a new part. And when I'm videoing, I like to have it plain white, get rid of that little blue stripe. I am going to point out, it probably says it in the text, but you know, when you look at the way this thing is, where it's kind of going off to the right, kind of up, to get that particular view, you can see that if I were to start on the bottom plane, it would not look like that. So basically, even without reading, I know that I have to start this on the front plane. So I'll click my front plane, click my new sketch. I'm just going to do the rest of my setup. There's a few things here that are given. We want to, even though this is really simple, on the test it does have you do changes, and so when they give you A and B, I like to go ahead and set up the equations. So let's go to our equations right here, right click on equations, go to manage equations, and then I'll just put a capital A right here and hit enter, and A is going to be 3.3. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in a capital B and enter. And B is going to be 2.0. It looks like those are the only 2 that we have. The next thing it says is that our material is 2014 alloy. And if I go to my material and configure my material, actually, you know what, I'm not going to do that because I'm in sketch mode, and when I'm in sketch mode, it will not give me the proper material. So I'll have to wait till I get out of sketch mode to set that material up. I probably could have done it before I started my first sketch, but we'll wait till we're out of sketch mode. So let's go ahead and start sketching. I'm just going to draw something really quick that looks, and I actually did not make that straight, so I'm going to make that straight. and make that straight, and that straight, and that straight. And what I'll do is I'm just going to click on that and now make it vertical. That's how I correct my mistake. All right, so if we start looking at our dimensions, I'm just going to right click and drag to get it to my dimension, and I'll go right here and come down, and that is supposed to be our first variable A. So I'm going to go equal, so I'm hitting equal on the key, go to global variables and hit A, and so there's my first dimension. Right here, this one is supposed to be B, so I'll hit equal again on the keyboard, and I should not have hit enter, but there we go. We got B there, so we're good to go there. This right here is supposed to be 0.75. From here to here is 0.5. This is supposed to be 1.75. This is supposed to be 0.75. And so it looks like I've got this fully defined. We're ready to go. So I'm going to go to my features. I'm going to go to extrude. And you can see that it wants to extrude forward instead of backwards, like I need to do to get my proper center of mass. So I'm going to go ahead and click this arrow, and the depth of my extrusion is 2.25, and I'll go ahead and click that. We're good to go, and now I can go to my material, go to edit material, and it says here 2014 alloy. I believe that 2014 alloy is an aluminum alloy. If you guys watch this, that'll save you a little bit of time, because if you look up here in steel, you will not find that. So we're going to go to 2014 alloy. There it is. So I've got my proper material done. I've got 2 decimal places already. You guys know that the default for Solidworks is 2 decimal places, so I'll leave that alone. And we've got the first thing done. The next thing is I want to do this little cutout, and so I'm just going to start a sketch on this plane. Hit my space bar, go to my normal 2 button, and then I will go to my rectangle tool. Make sure I start coincident with that corner. Come up, right click, drag, and that is supposed to be 1. And this is supposed to be 1. And we're going to go to features, extrude cut, and I'll just go through all. Space. And so there we have it. Now we've got our proper alloy. Looks like we've done everything we're supposed to do. So let's go to the next page and see what we're supposed to get. And it just shows doing the same cut. They just put 1 dimension and then use an equal relation, and that's okay. So we're going to look at the center of mass, and so I'm going to go to my evaluate, mass properties. My center of mass, X is 1.14, that is correct. Y is 0.75, that is correct. And Z is negative 1.18, that is correct. The volume should be 8.28, and there it is. And I don't know if it gives the mass, but I'll, if my volume is right, my material is right, my mass is going to be right, 0.84 pounds. And so what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to take this and let's pull this down a little bit. I'll go save as, and we want to choose a PDF. PDF is in here somewhere. There it is. Adobe PDF, and it tells us to name this. I don't want you guys to name this with your name, but we will go ahead and do what it says. It says that this should be named there it is. Save the part, name it volume-center of mass 3.1. So I guess I have my cap lock on still. And of course I have it saved already, so I'll do that. And since I'm saving this as a PDF, I'll take away the solid part of it. It's a PDF file, and I will go ahead and save it. And the PDF is what you're going to submit to me in Google Classroom. So that's that for the first one. I'll go ahead and end this video, and then we will do the second one.